I'm Colin Eston, the author of a series of 18th century murder mysteries featuring a young fellow called Will Archer. Will is no Jane Austen polite gentleman. He's a flesh and blood country lad who finds himself coming up against the highest and the lowest in the dirty and dangerous world of the 18th century. There are 10 novels in the series so far, and they're all available from the Book Dragon at 6 West Row, Stockton-on-Tees in the UK, or online at www.thebookdragon.co.uk. I'd like to read you now the first chapter of the first book in the series, Archer Bows In. But there's a slight problem. Will Archer tells his own story, and he's 60 years younger than me. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to suspend your disbelief for a while and ignore the white hair and the wrinkles and try and picture instead a young, lusty, idealistic young fellow walking through the noisy, bustling, filthy market in 18th century London. The pickpocket is quick, but I'm quicker. I have him. He struggles madly, kicking, beating. I duck and jerk, avoiding flailing fists and sharp knees. We skid on squirming offal and rotting veg. I slam him up against a wall. He gasps, deflates like a stuck bladder, and sinks into the filth. I tower over him, panting. A skinny thing, all teeth and scabby skin. Winded, but no bones broken. There'll be bruises in the morning for both of us. Behind us, the market melee has stuttered, glanced briefly. Now it shakes its head, decides we are none of its business, and flows on. Our small rip in its fabric, seamlessly stitched. His puny frame rasps breath enough to croak, "I'll give you back your purse, mate. Don't pitch me to the runners, mate." I bunch a fistful of his greasy shirt and haul him upright. "Don't mate me, scab. I'm no mate of yours. A one-time fellow traveller, perhaps, and a friend, though you don't know it. I'm not about to turn you in." His eyes, cunning, glitter, and he sneers a gap-toothed grin. I catch his dung-heap breath and his stink, stale as 3-day offal, as he whines, "You ain't one of ours. You smell too sweet." "I wash," I say, occasionally. He's no more than 8 years old, but shrewd. "You ain't no 'prentice," he says, "nor a skivvy. What are ya?" "I serve a gentleman." "Serve a gentleman, do ya?" he sniggers through snaggled teeth. "His bum boy, are ya?" I tighten my grip. "Mind your lip. My master's none of your concern, but I am. I can be judge, jury and executioner to you." He catches my glance towards the horse trough and cringes. "Oh, I didn't mean nothing." It's late November. His rags are thin. He's seen his dipper mates ducked before. "Don't souse me, mate," he snivels.
I'd sooner you shot me.
You'll shop yourself if you don't learn your trade better.
It's not my fault. Me brother says get out and be a dipper, 'cause I've grown too big for the basket.
I know what he means. Boys concealed in baskets carried on another's head. Spy a rich man, snatch his hat and wig. The outraged Mark clutches his head, glances about, sees only a passing tradesman carrying his wares. I reach into my pocket. I hold a sixpence in front of his eyes. Greed flickers, and then suspicion.
You after my arse, mate? No way,
he says, then considers.
Shilling at least.
My lip curls. A midden like you?
I'd wash,
he says ingratiatingly. It's not washing'll keep you from the gallows, I tell him. It's know-how. I relax my hold on his crop, let his feet touch the ground, shift my grip to his shoulder. This sixpence, I say, is to buy knowledge. Today and tomorrow, do nothing but watch. Learn how to choose your mark. Silk or fine wool, wigs and canes. See how they walk, where they go, what they do. Take 'em when they're occupied, looking at a book, buying some trinket, or greeting a friend.
Why are you telling me all this?
He frowns.
You ain't a taker, are ya?
No, I'm not a thief-taker. Luckily for you. The law wants to nab you. I want you not to get nabbed. An uncertain smile flickers. For a moment I see the 8-year-old he is. The boy I might have been.
A rum 'un you are, mister.
Believe it. I hold out the coin. Learn and prosper. He claws it into his grubby hand. I release him and he's away. At a safe distance he looks back. His look is puzzled. Then he raises his finger obscenely and turns to run. Straight into a bigger boy. The brother grabs him and smacks his ear. They gabble and the older boy throws me a suspicious look. Another blow and the sixpence is surrendered. Inwardly I sigh. Another lost boy. I didn't ask his name. There are too many. The crowd absorbs them. I turn and head back to Mr. Garrick's lodgings. Miss David Garrick, the famous actor. And me? Will Archer, 19, in this year of our Lord 1741. So Will Archer has introduced himself to you. In the next chapter after this, he finds a hanged man in the theatre where he works, and by the end of the book he's fallen in love. He's been attacked. He's been framed for murder, and most importantly, he has been recruited by the head of King George II's Secret Service. So no longer just an aspiring actor, but also a sort of Georgian James Bond. As I say, there are 10 books in the series so far, and all available from the Book Dragon, either in Stockton or online. Happy reading.